Leroy Smith had everything.
Holy shit, he uses his cane. This dude looks badass.
He terrorized players online.
Dude, oh my god, bro. This character's so fucking stupid, bro.
He crushed the pros offline.
No, sir, he knows it. He's gone through way more hardships than this. Stuck in immigration for like 3 days last year, still able to win the tournament.
But he didn't have no Leroy in immigration. Oh my god, this is looking terrible. Rosen's gonna do it.
He's in rage, Arson's in rage.
Oh my god,
One more do any poke dude.
it's over, what?
And for a few months, Leroy destroyed Tekken.
잘 만들었네.
Oh, shit. Sam's gonna sacrifice the damage, gets caught with the cane. And just like that, the very good here.
Oh,
The counter!
not like. Oh my gosh, the back 1+2, he goes right into the range. That's gonna be the round.
You gonna leave me with the pixel? Leave me alive? Think you got a chance? You're dumb.
Leroy Smith hasn't been around very long, but he's already one of the most infamous characters in Tekken history. For many fans, just hearing his name pisses them off.
Leroy is dumb.
Yeah, Leroy is fucking broken. This is just problem character.
Is Leroy going to be your new main? No, I'm not Trish player.
But before Tekken fans were crying for him to be nerfed into oblivion, they were drooling over him, counting down the days until his release.
What? Black Jesus!
Leroy was first revealed to the world at Evo 2019 as one of the new characters coming to Tekken 7 in Season Pass 3. Unlike Zafina, the character revealed alongside him, Leroy was brand new to Tekken, and many were calling him the best original design the series had seen in years.
I kind of love the idea and the look of Leroy, as long as he's interesting enough, you know, and not overpowered or underpowered. I think I'm just going to be super happy to have him.
Yeah, but they know that the community are up in arms about him. So I'm thinking, are they gonna buff him now like crazy before release because everyone is so hyped?
And a few months later, at the Tekken World Tour Finals, Namco released a new trailer for Leroy, one that got fans even more excited. And you can't really blame people for being hyped. I mean, Leroy looks cool as hell. He oozes style. How can you look at this character and not immediately want to play him? And soon enough, Tekken fans got their hands on the Wing Chun Master. But instead of a hype new character, they got a nasty surprise.
His damage output is stupid good.
Why is that natural combo? Explain to me, somebody. Why is that natural combo? Why is that natural combo? Explain.
Dude, why duck when orbital, right? Or orbital or parry. That was what my defense's options were, right? You want to go low, I orbital. Higher mid, I parry, right?
Right.
Oh, it's gonna hurt. Unscaled.
Hey. And it breaks?
Yeah, and it breaks.
The hell?
This is all unscaled. Back to regular scaling.
God.
See, Tekken has had broken characters before. In fact, the series' early years were kind of a balanced nightmare.
You know, experiment with down for one setups, you know, like this. Down for one, down for one, down for one. This is so much fun. I just want to keep going.
But over the years, Tekken got more balanced. Hell, Tekken 7 was considered by many to be the most balanced entry in the series. Sure, there were some obvious top tiers, but it really seemed like anyone could win with any character. No one character truly dominated Tekken 7. Until Leroy.
I think he's always going to be a strong character by virtue of how versatile he is, but what they need to try and focus to is not give him the best version of every character's move. Give him a slightly, like a lesser version, and he makes up for it with his versatility.
Why was Leroy broken? Well, it's simple. He had everything. Insane damage, great combos, pressure, pokes, and pretty much every character's best move. You name it, Leroy had it. And unlike most broken Tekken characters who came before him, Leroy didn't have a high execution barrier. Pretty much anyone could pick him up and start winning. In a quest to make Leroy the Tekken dream character, Namco Bandai made him a nightmare.
And I think it is by far the largest balanced disaster I've ever seen in any competitive video game I've played in my life. I haven't played that many, and I haven't been playing Tekken for that long, but I essentially consider online Tekken more or less an unplayable game mode right now.
And Leroy wasn't just broken at a casual level. Even top players knew that he was busted.
What do you think of Leroy so far?
Leroy is broken.
지금은 사실 갈류에 대한 관심보다는 이제 리로이 스미스가 문제거든요. 왜냐면 이 캐릭이 이제 처음에 이제 공개됐을 때는 굉장히 멋있어서 사람들이 기대를 했는데 막상 게임에 나와 보니까
If they don't change anything about Leroy before Evo Japan, then I'm 100% sure 95% all players will play Leroy, including me.
Leroy came out just after the Tekken World Tour Finals, which meant he couldn't completely destroy the competitive scene as soon as he came out. But a few weeks later at Evo Japan, Leroy was tournament legal for basically the first time, and everyone finally got to see just how broken he really was.
The hero attack.
Oh my god, back turn, he's dead. Oh my god, he jumped over.
Good whip for the back, relaxed. Oh my gosh.
Damn, the game is pretty limber, man.
Yo, look, that's you think you're not in shape and you're a sumo wrestler? Come on, try to go for the orbital. Book in trouble. Last line of defense back,
dead.
1+2. He's dead.
Hella dead.
Hell.
You're dumb. God
You're
damn.
dumb. Heard it.
He got him. He got him.
Man, I love hearing
the heartbreak shot.
Evo Japan is a big deal. It was the first tournament of the year and had tons of top players in attendance. There's a lot of prestige that comes with winning Evo Japan too. The year before, Arslan Ash came out of nowhere to win it all and put Pakistan on the Tekken map. But at Evo Japan 2020, people weren't thinking about if Arslan Ash could defend his title, or even if the recently crowned Tekken World Tour champion Chikurin could keep up his solid performance. No, at Evo Japan that year, all eyes were on a Leroy.
You gotta step it up a little bit. You guys play Akuma, we don't like that here.
Nope. We're looking for Leroy's. Just Leroy.
Just Leroy.
So Leroy was busted. That was not in question. But what people were wondering is if the pros would abandon their mains to pick up Leroy. Some Tekken players have been rocking the same character for years, and while it seemed relatively unlikely that they'd throw all that practice away for a shot at winning with a brand new character, there was still a chance.
I've been talking to a few people who are like Street Fighter commentators, right? And just they're giving they're like, give me your thoughts. How many Leroys are gonna be in this top 8? And I don't think we're actually gonna get that many. I think that for some reason or another, Tekken players have some kind of pride about their characters and their mains.
And as soon as Pool started, people realized that whether or not the pros were switching to Leroy, he was going to be a pretty common sight at Evo Japan.
You did a block earlier, right?
Yes.
So how was that? I was stuck over here doing BB tag while you were there doing Tekken. So what happened? I know Leroy, right? That's the man of the hour right now.
Yeah, man.
Is it true?
I think, look, I ain't gonna say he's too good, but he's definitely too good. If you get like their official, like whatever their account is, wow, even for the unblockable,
No, that'd be a mistake.
that must have been a mistake. That must have been a mistake. How was he ready with a combo for that?
Orbital, big whip, but again, you don't want to try challenging that orbital.
He's got the down two. Does he got his staff still? A cane?
Yeah, he still has it.
Oh, back 1+2, he's got one of those.
And counted it.
Hey, ba-da-ba-ba. Damn, the comeback was crazy. Jab after. He's got to watch out for the extension of it. Wow, great punish. Wall. Amigo bounce to the resplat. Nicely done for the perfect and the victory. Game 1. Amigo.
Almost everyone was playing Leroy. If you weren't playing him at the start of the tournament, chances were you switched to him before the end. Even some of the best players in the world like Chikurin and Ulsan jumped on the bandwagon, wing chunning their way to top 8. Many fans pinned their hopes on players like Arslan Ash and Knee who chose not to play Leroy.
I actually have a feeling that Arsonage can beat all the Leroys here. Arsonage, can you bring it back? No, sir, he knows it.
He's gone through way more hardships than this. Stuck in immigration for like 3 days last year, still able to win the tournament.
But he doesn't have no Leroy in immigration. Oh my God, this is looking terrible. Rosen's gonna do it.
He's in rage. Arson's in rage.
Oh my God,
one more. Any Poke dude?
It's over. What? The bad trick is dead. Arsonage will not be repeating.
Leroy, and there's the handshake to Rome out of all players too.
That is a shocker. Huge shock. I mean, like I said, one of the worst Leroys I've seen here today. Versus one of the best players against Leroy.
You gotta give him some credit.
I'm giving him tons of credit.
The worst Leroy I've ever seen has defeated Arsonage right here.
Amazing.
By top 8, 7 out of 8 of the players left used Leroy at some point in the tournament. I want to take a second and highlight just how crazy that number is. 7 out of 8. It has been years since a fighting game was so thoroughly dominated by one character at the top level. In 2018, when Bayonetta broke Smash 4, Evo still only had 3 Bayonettas in top 8. In 2011, while Yun was dominating Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition, there were only 2 Yuns in top 8. And just last year, there were only 3 Kid Gokus in Evo's Dragon Ball FighterZ top 8, and he was the single best character in the game. So the fact that there were 7 Leroys in top 8 should be proof enough that he was broken.
But get in it, he's still got to stick for 3 more rounds if he can get there.
If he got to get this round to get 2 more rounds.
Man, they're both so scared.
Orbital, not
that might be it.
Nah,
that might be it.
All right, he's okay.
He got the wall carry.
Oh,
let's go. Ow. Book. Ow.
Mikio, a fresh-faced Julia player, was the only person in top 8 who resisted the urge. He beat down dozens of Leroys to make his way to grand finals.
Oh, we got a final round. Mikio going up to Chicory right now, and this is looking crazy.
Yo, this could happen. This could happen. Bow and arrow. Bow and arrow again. A third one. Good. He shoots the third one.
Very tense situation right now, down 4-1-1. The magic stick, not today.
Uh-oh. Marching band, it's a marching band.
No counter hit though. Look at this. Chicory fighting back right now.
It's so close. He had it right there.
Get off broken.
Oh!
Not over yet.
Not done. It's done.
And Mikio takes out the Tekken World Tour champion to move on winner's side, Evo Japan.
But in the end, the lone hero lost too. Mikio lost to Book's Leroy in a close match.
He's like, I stand up. Orbital's blocked. He's been caught by so many. Nice punch from Book.
Shredder kicks. He's 2 for 2.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
And
hell yeah, it's a wall. Oh my God. Fitty time. Nice patience from Book to get up off the ground slowly. This time the cane is blocked. The sweep. Are we going to get another one? Down with another sweep might be coming.
Oh my.
He confirmed. That could be the tournament. That could be the tournament. Book is your Evo Japan 2020 champion.
And look at that. Running it all the way through winners with none other than Leroy Smith, the new character added this season. Book, Talon's Book takes it over. Mikio, what a valiant try though, man.
And during the award ceremony, Evo Japan's newest champion summarized the new Tekken meta perfectly.
Yesterday, I saw many comments about the character. I think a lot about that in grand final or in winner final. So, but yeah, just pick Leroy, I think.
Book is an extraordinary player, a true grinder who deserves a big win like this. He's a beloved figure in the Tekken community, but his win was overshadowed by Leroy. The day after Evo Japan, patch 3.20 was released with minimal Leroy nerfs.
And obviously, Leroy will remain a problem for the foreseeable future. Because certainly some good nerfs here, I like it, but he's still, unbelievably strong.
A couple weeks later, there was a new patch, except this one only had Leroy nerfs. And a few months later, Leroy got hit with another set of nerfs.
I think the significant downgrade is Leroy, right? And Leroy definitely got that downgrade. He was in the top position.
Keep him coming.
Yeah, he's just steadily dropping down. He's not a struggling character, that's for sure. He's still decent, but
he's still hella good.
Leroy is finally looking mortal. Don't get me wrong, he's still super good, but he is not the triple S tier world beater that could dunk on any character in the game anymore. At Topanga's recent offline Tekken League, only one player made top 6 playing Leroy, and he ended up finishing 6th. But despite being more balanced than before, just hearing Leroy's name is enough to piss some people off.
Yeah, the whole thing with Leroy that I don't like is that he was supposed to be this dope-ass character. It's honestly their best design for a Tekken 7 character, in my opinion. Everybody else in Tekken 7 has kind of been whatever, right? Or guest characters, which are dope. But in terms of a original Tekken 7 character, I felt as though Leroy was the coolest one. But he's kind of got this tarnished and tainted reputation because he came out so OP.
Leroy was supposed to be the great Tekken hero. Instead, he was the villain, terrorizing everyone. He was a single-player boss character who somehow made it to competitive play. And for a few months, Leroy really did ruin Tekken. How do you feel about this very bright light? How do you feel about me having to stand in front of it for like 30 minutes? Luckily, it's not hot.
Do you want me to powder your nose?
No, I'm okay. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Usually I have the interns do that, but you know.